Good morning. It is a snow day here in February. I want you to grab whatever closest hot drink you have and sit down and enjoy because this is going to be a pretty fast moving class as opposed to the hour and 30 minutes class that I did last night. So let's talk about essential oils. I'm going to hopefully take you from a place of knowing almost nothing, share my testimony, and then you can understand how powerful these can be and how you can use them in your life too. So I think you're going to gain some confidence if you have some questions. And if I cannot answer those, I can help you find the answers because I have some connections, guys. Okay, so my personal story is coming from a place where I was pretty skeptical. So my grandma got leukemia when she was maybe in her 70s. I remember her going to all the health food places and just trying to have some more natural options. And my mom really enjoyed also digging into health and wellness a little bit, buying the better honey and the better bread for you. And so I grew up a little bit like that. When I was a teenager, my hands, especially in the wintertime, would break out with awful red rashes, and they would hurt and they would ache, so much so that I could not do dishes. And for a while, I didn't know what was causing it. I just tried to keep applying lotions and moisturizers in hopes that that would help. I was going to a church in Gravette, Arkansas, and there's a nurse that attends there. Her name is Donna. Shout out to Donna if you're watching this. And she said, yes, this is very common. It's called eczema, and you need to stop using anything that has an artificial fragrance in it. And that was the first time that I had heard of really the fact that a lot of products are really not great for us. So I was eventually able to heal my hands. I think I was using Gold Bond to try to do that. But, and my body adjusted really well to that. Year after year, the same thing, but it wouldn't get quite as bad. I would use Gold Bond, and I would even use it on my face sometimes because my face would hurt. And it never got 100% better until I was introduced into Young Living, and I stopped using artificial fragrance stuff altogether, between hand soaps, between soaps for my dishes. I threw all my Bath and Body Works lotions out and soaps out, and that was the hardest thing that I'd had to do. I contemplated it for about a week before I threw everything out. But I'm so glad that I did, even though it was a really big struggle and I did not want to do it, because I had kind of and I'm still today struggling a little bit with a mindset of, there's not enough and I need to not waste, because I grew up in a minister's home and paychecks are not big whenever you're in ministry. So that was my first introduction into Young Living. I met a friend, her name is Alyssa, and became really close with her because we started working on leadership with the MOPS group. MOPS is Mothers of Preschoolers, and it's kind of mid-ground between a Bible study and a mom's club, merging the two together, hoping that church moms can make relationships with moms that need to be in church, because moms need community and they need Jesus. So we can attest to that, right? Those of us that are believers. Where would we be without Jesus? Oh, thank the Lord. Thank the Lord for his involvement. So I met Alyssa, and she started getting into oils a little bit. I think her cousin was in Young Living and ended up doing a class. I remember I was pregnant with Addie. Daniel picked me up trying to be romantic, and something snapped in my back, and the next couple days I was in so much pain I could not get out of bed. without hurting tremendously. I could not walk straight. I was in a lot of pain. And Alyssa just dropped everything, headed over, brought her pan away and her peppermint, mixed it in with some of my olive oil that I had in the kitchen. She mixed it up in a little bowl and she applied it to my back. Instant relief after not being able to do anything and just have to stay in bed, and even that hurt. Instant relief. So that was my first click with essential oils. She became my doula whenever I was delivering Addie, and that's a big story in itself, but I was able to deliver Addie completely naturally, and I did have a lot of problems afterward with bleeding, but I had a really good support team and really good hospital, really good doctors. It was a little bit scary, but we got through it. But we used essential oils for my labor and delivery, and if it hadn't been for Lissa, it wouldn't have happened, and I'm so thankful that I was able to do that. Let's see. So I came to her class that her cousin was doing, and it was very low key. I kind of expected to be sold to. You know, sometimes if you're able to work up courage to go to those in-person parties, it can be a fearful thing to be, you know, sold to. But this was a pretty low key thing. We got to just smell all the oils that were in the kit, and I feel like up to that point, I had been kind of rude to Alyssa because I didn't want to be deceived in thinking that this company had these products that I'd never heard of, and it was going to be announced as a scam later on. I didn't want to get involved in that. But Alyssa was in ministry, and we were best friends, and spent a lot of time together. And I wanted to support her because I knew what the hardships of being in ministry. I just had a yard sale. Looking back, I really think that it was the Lord's hand, because I had a yard sale, I had the class, I had the cash in hand, and I got the kit. Even though I kind of went in and I was pretty skeptical and I feel like I was rude. But Alyssa was undaunted and just loved me anyway. After I got my kit, it came in the box, and one of the big reasons that I wanted to get the kit was because of the lavender, because it was summertime. I think it was August, and the mosquitoes that year were so awful, and we wanted to spend time outside because I know outside time is really important for kids. She would get these mosquito bites that would make her legs, her little precious itty bitty baby legs, just swell up like crazy. And Alyssa said that the lavender would really help with that. So I took my lavender. That was the first thing I grabbed out of the kit. And the kit used to come with a roller bottle or roller fitment that you could slide in there and pop in there. And I put it on wrong, dumped it all over my couch. So for a year or two after that, I did not have any lavender from my kit. And I was kind of annoyed. I don't remember if the lavender ended up helping with her legs because I spilled it on the couch. I was trying to. Anyway, so by the way, if you find, so I think in the kit right now there's 2 roller fitments instead of just one. What you have to do is you have to put it on there. After you take the little slidey thing off, let me just show you. You take this thing off. You put the roller fitment on, and you put the lid on, the black lid that comes with it, not the white one, and it'll snap, it'll click, and then it's in there securely so you can use it. Man, that's rosemary. It smells really good. Rosemary. Love that. Oh, man. So anyway, that was some of my first. Another one that I knew really helped me from the kit, one of the first ones that I have a story with, was the DeJais. DeJais has a lot of the same ingredients as the gripe water that you can find at Walmart. That was another thing I was pretty skeptical and I had changed my mind about. Man, smells good. So DeJais has anise and fennel, maybe even ginger. It just has a lot of soothing herbs for your stomach. And I am like my dad in that I just have a lot of stomach problems. My dad, I grew up with him. If he ate before 8 o'clock, he was fine. If he ate after 8 o'clock in the evening, he would spend most of the night throwing up and losing all of his stomach contents in the bathroom. And it was a violent sound. Like, I felt so bad for him, kind of gut wrenching. And all you can do is just lay there and be like, oh, Lord, help him to stop throwing up so I can go back to bed. And so he's not having a hard night. My dad's been on a health journey, but so DeJice has really helped me. I couldn't stand the smell of it, but I knew that it was helping. I knew that it was working, and I've warmed up to it so much and used it so much now that I actually crave it, even though I know from the beginning it was not a very nice smell. So, but these are not perfumes. These are therapeutic quality oils that really resonate with our body systems. So I've kind of already gone into a little bit of what essential oils are, but just in case you don't know anything and I'm not making sense to you, essential oils are the most powerful part of a plant. So they are distilled from flowers, from trees, from herbs, from shrubs, from all the different parts of the plants, from the roots, the fruit, the rind, the resins, and the herbs. In humans, oils can provide support for every single system in the body: your skeletal system, your muscular and circulatory system, your endocrine system, your hormones, your respiratory system, immune system. They support brain health and healthy weight. They're used extensively for spiritual support in your prayer life, as well as in emotional support. We'll learn a little bit about that spiritual support, because that kind of threw me off whenever I heard it. And I know it probably is throwing a lot of other people off. Like, what? An oil can bring you closer to God? What does that mean? So oils have been used for thousands of years as beauty aids. An oil in a diffuser can soothe a child's tough day at school or an adult's tough day at work. And provide a calming effect when you've had a stressful day. So oils can be used as an alternative to cleaning chemicals at home, which is what I've done. My hands are loving it. I've never been better than when I got into Young Living. If you're at all interested in having a pure lifestyle and not using chemicals and toxins that are going to be really bad for your system, essential oils can help with that, and you don't have to break the bank to do it. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. More on that later. So I have a PowerPoint here that I want to show you guys. Let me start it at the beginning because we have some ground to cover, and I'm trying to do this more quickly. Okay, so I'm going to try to figure. Zoom cloud meetings is what I'm using, and there's a way to screen share. So that's what I'm going to do. Here we go. Use slideshow. Okay, here we go. So this is the kit that that I'm talking about. This is the new kit. So every once in a while they do a different one. I shared my personal story. We talked about what those are. So the Young Living Premium Starter Kit is what you're looking at right now. It is worth about $412. If you were to buy little by little by little, each individual piece, it would cost you $400 over time. It's always $165. So it's steeply discounted. It's always half price on the website. It comes with 12 full-sized bottles of oil and a desert mist diffuser with 11 different colored light settings, including a candle setting. This one that you're looking at is a home diffuser, and you will see in some of the next slides the desert mist diffuser. I have both of them. The desert mist is definitely my favorite because it has 11 lighting settings. So pretty much choose whatever matches your decor. This one lights up as blue, like a really beautiful blue, and you can also press it again and the light will go off and the diffuser will keep going. If you're like me and you need the diffuser going with no light. So this kit contains respiratory oils, pain oils, Immune support oils, stress, emotional oils, digestive oils, oils for alertness, if you have a lot of brain fog like I have, oils for fear, as well as intentional aromatic and topical oils. Our powerhouse of Ningxia Red, this is a liquid food supplement loaded with antioxidants. As far as the rating systems go on the ORC scale, which is the scale that determines how much antioxidants are in it, Ningxia Red is skyrocket on the scale. If you need a powerhouse of antioxidants, and antioxidants fight free radicals in the body, fight some of the stress and aging things in your body. Ningxia is fantastic. And I also love to use it anytime that I have a lot to do that day. I don't have a lot of energy. I grab one of these things and I can snap into it again. Like the afternoon slump. Sometimes I use coffee for that too, and then sometimes coffee doesn't help. Especially last night when I made decaf because we ran out of the other. This kit contains Thieves, which is very likely going to be one of your favorites. It's a plant-based cleaning line. It's the most affordable plant-based cleaning line on the planet. I love it because it gives you a whirlwind sample of some of the products that we have. So let's jump on in with the rest of the class. How do you use oils? This is a question that we need answered, right? So there's 3 things that you need to know about how to use them. So the English, apply topically, kind of like you saw me doing earlier. And the second one is to use a diffuser. You've probably seen people have diffusers. Maybe you even have a diffuser at home. And then the third way, the Germans are known for diffusing and for inhaling it. The French actually cook with essential oils and have been doing for decades. How do the oils enter and how long do they last? So tests have shown, this is amazing, guys, it'll blow your mind. Oils reach the heart, the liver, and the thyroid within only 3 seconds of being inhaled. And in the seconds that it took me to inhale, it is already reaching my heart, my liver, and thyroid within 3 seconds. They were found in the bloodstream within 20 seconds of being applied topically. Expulsion of the essential oils takes about 6 to 3 hours in a normal, healthy body. If your body is really fighting a toxic overload, it might be a little bit different for you. So let's talk a little bit about one of my favorite parts of the class. This is essential oils history. Oils were first mentioned by name in the biblical book of Genesis, chapter 37, when Joseph was sold to slave traders. The slave traders carried balm and myrrh and spicery. Genesis ends with the burial of Joseph's father being anointed with myrrh. There are over 1,100 direct and indirect mentions of essential oils in the scripture. I had no idea, and I've been exposed to exposed to the Bible my whole life. These oils are all over in the Bible. One of the things that I really struggled with was believing that oils can help your emotions, because I just didn't understand. I didn't get it until maybe a year or 2 into using oils. But the Bible has a verse that talks about the oil of joy. 1,100 direct and indirect mentions in our Bible, in our scripture. And probably since I've said that, you're going to be seeing it all over the place now. Some of the oldest cultures in the world used essential oils. Babylonians carried cedarwood, myrrh, and cypress. Egyptians used essential oils for beauty and embalming. We have the oldest recorded deodorant recipe made with essential oils from the Egyptians. Pakistan and Rome used essential oils in their communal bathhouses. I'm so glad we don't have those anymore. That's kind of a disgusting cesspool, probably even with essential oils, because men are gross, especially. My husband works hard. I can't complain. He works hard, but it's still kind of disgusting sometimes. So one of the things that's really important for you to know is that the FDA does not have a rating system for essential oils. The closest that we get is you can say, if I want to make a profit and I know that I can get 100 people to sign up for the oil that I've distilled personally in my small mom and pop farm, all I have to do to put 100% pure on there is to have 5% of plant material, of essential oil. The rest can be diluted with whatever I want. And Gary Young got really angry because he felt like a lot of people were jumping on the natural bandwagon that had no business being there because their product just did not meet the standard. So Gary Young built this business on a promise and a slogan, but it's more like an honoring of his word, of the seed to seal process. So let me see if I can get this out of, oops, wrong one. I want to see if I can show you guys something real quick. I'm gonna have to stop screen sharing for a moment. Nope. How do you do this? Oh, stop share. Okay, here we go. Let me try to find this page because it tells a lot about, this is a book that you can get that basically tells the story of Young Living. I love the story. I'm so blown away when I look at this and see what all it took. The seed to seal, though, is what we're talking about. And here in just a second. Here we go. Okay, so from the seed to cultivating, to distillation, to testing, and then putting the seal on the bottle, they have promised that the oil is the best quality that it can be, and we're going to get into that. So what does the seed to seal mean? At Young Living, they have promised not to strip any constituents to make our oil smell better. So like when I was talking about DeJai's, it kind of stinks a little bit, but it was really helpful. Other companies might take an oil that stinks and mix it with other things to make it more pleasing and more acceptable to their crowd. We do not mix species of the same oil. We do not spray weed killers or pesticides or herbicides or use genetically modified seeds. We spend $12,000 per acre to hand weed our lavender. Instead of the industry standard of other companies, they pay $60 per acre for the same plant. So $60 versus $12,000 per acre. That's a pretty big difference. The industry standard is $60 per acre because spraying with pesticides is much cheaper than hand weeding. We do not distill with solvents like hexane. And my babies are coming to see me. Hi, do you need something? No. Okay, can you let me finish? Okay, take the baby and go get her just a little bit more bread, okay? This baby loves bread. You want bread? Okay, shut the door after you go get it, okay? Right. All right, our oil, or rather our soil, is not tainted with mercury or arsenic or glyphosate or any poison because our fields are untouched by toxic chemicals. Oh guys, I just have to show you one thing. So Gary Young, before he really started doing his own study on homeopathics, he had a really bad accident and tried to commit suicide a couple times, and he failed doing that. Here he is in crutches. I need you to let me finish, okay? And then you can ask your questions. Okay? Okay, so here is Gary's x-rays. He had some pretty massive trauma with a logging accident. He became just really fascinated with plant material because when he was sitting in a hospital bed, one of the ways that he tried to commit suicide is just starve himself to death. And so for 200 plus days, I think it was 235 maybe, he only drank lemon water. 253 days straight, only lemon water. And the weirdest thing happened. He had been paralyzed, I guess from the waist down. I'm not quite sure. I think it was from the waist down. After 19 broken bones, 3 open skull fractures, a ruptured spinal cord in 3 different places that was classified as an incomplete break, and 11 ruptured discs, 16 broken and crushed vertebrae. This is because he was working at a logging company, and the logging company, he was somehow, the trunk of the tree like turned and fell on him. You need the horse? Okay, I'll hand it to you over here, and you're gonna shut the door and let mommy do this, okay? I love you. So he had some massive issues. He was on 13 different drugs, including morphine and an antidepressant, and a world that seemed dark and hopeless with no light at the end of the tunnel. So whenever he started feeling movement in his toes when he was supposed to be paralyzed, the only thing that the doctors could figure is that maybe because he wasn't eating like a normal, healthy person, maybe his body just didn't have the nutrients to make scar tissue. And because of that, he started having movement in his toes. So he was thinking something about that lemon water. I wonder what it was. And so he just started studying more and more and more. He decided that he was going to fight for his life instead of try to end it. So it became a process of a really hard, long road of trying to walk again. And you can see in the x-rays, that's some pretty massive problems here. And this is years after the accident happened too. He was constantly in pain, and a ton of these products that he made available to the rest of us are because that they helped him. And so he made it available to us. But the thing that I want to talk to you about, maybe more than that, is in his research, in his drive, he made many trips overseas, interviewing and trying to build relationships with people that had an in the very private market of essential oils. He went to France and he met 2 gentlemen. This is one of the guys that he met. And I cannot pronounce, Henry Viad, I think is his name. That was an amazing teacher who really helped Gary along, but he was not open to having visitors, especially curious Americans. However, Gary persisted, and one night, 5 years later, Mr. Vod, or however we say his name, came to his first friend's house for dinner when Gary was there. In a very short but intense interview, Mr. Vod asked Gary what essential oils meant to him, and feeling tremendous pressure with him and with much anxiety, Gary said, "I believe that essential oils are the closest and physical and tangible substance that carries the Spirit of God on earth." Pointing his finger at Gary in a dramatic tone of voice with a heavy French accent, he said, "You are right, and anyone who messes with them should be treated like a criminal." So these people had essential oil distillation processes passed down from generation to generation in the French households. And here's a picture of his tiny stone cottage, the French guy. Mr. Vod's 600-year-old stone house on the mountain plateau where Gary was tutored in the art of distillation. And I just think that it's so neat that they thought that it was such a sacred process and a sacred job to be given on earth, to provide and to retain the healing power of these oils, and to not mess with them, not to dilute them with things that are really bad for us. You know, the more I think about the purity of the way that oil is supposed to be, the more I just have to worship God, because it means in the very beginning, he knew how broken we would be, and he put something here on earth so that we could find it later and distill it and provide a massive movement of healing for our bodies. It inspires me so much and leaves me on the verge of tears sometimes, because God is so good to give us these things. God wants to heal us, and he doesn't want us to be broken. And I have gone a long ways from my script, but I feel like that was important. Young Living has really won my trust, and I don't want to use any other company that would have an oil that would sell cheaply, because why would you want to use an essential? Why would you want to use an extremely concentrated product that is extremely concentrated pesticides, but it also has a little bit of essential oil that smells nice? Not for me. You know, I don't always buy organic fruit and vegetables, but as far as my oils, that's extra important because it's extremely concentrated. So all of our oil is shipped from around the world to the Spanish Fork and is run through a vigorous 8-point testing to ensure purity. Those tests run in a triplicate at the farm at Spanish Fork, and a third time before bottling. And a third time before bottling. Oh, she found bread and she's happy about it. Did you find bread? Okay, so the testing is thorough and precise in Young Living. If you want to see a little bit more and you want to drive all the way to St. Mary's Farm in Utah, that can be really fun. And you should take me with you, because one day I'm going to go. Maybe I can just take you with me. So let's go back to our presentation. My screen sharing? Share. Okay. And we started at the beginning because I exited out of it. So essential oils work if you have a good brand. I'm fearful and I'm afraid that a lot of my friends that are not using a quality therapeutic grade oil don't really believe in the power of them, because they're using something that's been adulterated and it's cheap and it's not worth it. And I really do believe that when it comes to oils, you get what you pay for. All right, so we talked a little bit about seed to seal. These are all of our farms all over the world. I think it's so beautiful that whenever you get your kit and you hold the oils in your hands, you are holding pieces from all over the world. Look at this: Australia, Tokyo, Singapore, Oman, Israel, Croatia, United Kingdom, France, all the way to some Canada, and even in Ecuador in South America. And another thing that is really neat is that Young Living has been, they have the Young Living Foundation, which is their version of like Samaritan's Purse, where they're reaching out and they're opening up clinics and schools for people that need it, and they're providing jobs for people. And if you go there and you interview and get honest opinions of the people that are working with Young Living, they are so grateful and so thankful. I love how God has blessed Young Living and Gary's company so much, and Young Living has turned that around and given it back. I love that. I think it's so beautiful. So all of essential oils, whatever brand you get, fall into 4 different categories. And this is an important thing to understand. So there's authentic, there's manipulated, there's perfume, and then there's just plain synthetic. So authentic means that oils are 100% pure and no synthetics have been added into, and no additives in the bottle. These are Young Living essential oils. Manipulated means that the final product has been manipulated and so that it smells more pleasing. We kind of talked about that a little bit already. It's less earthy, so they try to make it smell more pleasing. Some of the heavier molecules of essential oils have been stripped out whenever you have a manipulated oil, and other additives have been introduced to enhance the aroma. And then next is the perfume oils. So these are not pure. They're mixed with synthetics to enhance the aroma. These oils have no therapeutic action. frequently, solvents are used to extract the plant. And then finally, the fourth one, synthetic oils are not true oils at all. They smell nothing like the original plant and are typically labeled scented products, fragrance. A lot of times, I think the synthetic and the perfume are made, if they're made with essential oils at all, they're made with the water that has been drained off of the actual product. Young Living will take this water and they will put it in spa tubs, and when you go visit their farms, you can actually take a soak with all of your clothes still on and enjoy a soak in the tub. And people love it. People love it. Other companies, though, have been known to take that water and sell it to other companies that would like to have perfume and synthetic oils to sell. Authentic is really the only true pure oil, even though FDA standards say that you only have to have 5% in order to label it 100%. What a scam. It makes me kind of mad, and I have to try not to think about it. Synthetic oils would be like opening your fridge, taking a glass of orange juice, and diluting it 95% with chemicals before you drank it. It wouldn't have the same benefits of a full glass of pure orange juice. That is why we want authentic oils. Before you purchase, check and see if the company grows their own plants, has the seed to seal, and controls the entire process from the farm to the sealed bottle. Pesticides, pollution, previously farmed land, all of it can affect the quality of an oil, and you really want the best for your family. I really don't want to drive this nail into the wall and then keep driving it after it's in there, but using a therapeutic grade oil is very important, and I highly recommend Young Living. So I'm going to, do you guys see this kind of gross stuff? This is a frankincense tree. It's the sap that will soon turn into resin that you see in this bottom right-hand corner. You see that the rock things? That is what the frankincense is made out of. I wonder if Jesus had frankincense oil or frankincense resin or what. I think it just says frankincense in the Bible. Okay, so we talked about that authentic, manipulated perfume and synthetic, and there's no rating system for essential oil companies to go by. So what is the impact of spraying pesticides? So the video that she wanted to show, I couldn't get it to work, so we're going to pass through that. But it takes thousands and tens of thousands of rose blossoms to make 1 ounce of rose oil. It takes a lot of resources to do this the right way. Oils are more concentrated than food, so pesticides sprayed on a crop can be even more concentrated than on food, like an apple skin. That is why we don't spray. So let me show you, why do other companies sell oils cheaper than others? The reason is that they're cutting corners. The more corners that you can cut, the better deal you can provide to your customers, but then what are you actually getting in that bottle? The FDA is not really nailing companies for the deception of some of the companies, some of the product that's actually in it. It's really depressing how somebody would care more about profit than the people. And the more that I've learned about Young Living, the more I've just really been impressed with how they really stress and really train their people to love people instead of the profit. The business has been really good for me and has refined me a little bit and is keeping me accountable. I feel a little bit sometimes like a diamond that has to be chipped away and become a better person. Anyway, so oils are made, it takes a lot of work to produce a tiny amount of essential oil. So listen to this. 60,000 rose blossoms provide only 1 ounce of rose oil. Lavender is really abundant, though. You can have about 200 pounds that will provide 7 pounds of oil. Jasmine flowers, this is amazing. Jasmine flowers must be picked by hand before the sun comes hot on the very first day that they open, making it one of the most expensive oils in the world. It takes 8 million hand-picked blossoms to produce 2.2 pounds of oil. A sandalwood tree must be 30 years old and 30 feet high before it can be cut down for distillation. Gary Young sandalwood trees, which I think are grown in Hawaii, the trees must be 90% dead before they are harvested. Gary Young made the statement that if people really understood the value of sandalwood, it would always be out of stock. Sandalwood, we think, we're not quite sure, but there's an oil that's mentioned in the Bible that we don't really know what it is, but we think it's probably Hawaiian sandalwood. So, let me see here. So a little bit goes a long way. Oils are very cost effective. Most oils are about $10 to $30 per bottle, depending on the oil thickness. A 5 milliliter contains about 90 to 100 drops. This is my rosemary. This is my orange. And a 15 milliliter contains about 20 to 240 drops. Each application is 1 to 3 drops, meaning even a small bottle will get you 40 to 90 applications. Thieves Cleaner, which is what I use, is very cost effective. It's made of plants only, and it costs about $1.50 to make. And you can't even get that in the organic section at the grocery store. It replaces multi-purpose cleaner, glass cleaner, and floor cleaner. I have really just one cleaner that I use for everything in my house. I don't have to buy a separate bottle for Windex. I don't have to buy something separate for my floors. I don't have to buy, like, I use the same powerhouse of plant material, Thieves all-purpose cleaner on my tubs and my floors, everything, which comes really in handy to have that spray whenever you have a dog that poops in the house or whenever you are potty training a little one. I really love the Thieves Cleaner. The first time that I mopped my floor with it, and I walked around barefoot, I was like, oh, my feet. I can't explain it, but this is heavenly. My feet feel so fresh walking on the wood floor. So the organic versions of the same stuff can run you anywhere from $4 to $6 a bottle. Thieves Cleaner and hand sanitizer comes in your starter kit. Again, very cost effective. $1.50 a kit compared to $4 to $6 for an organic brand. So we are going to move on, if I can get my thing here. So there are other Thieves classes that we can totally delve into. I'm not going to do a whole bunch right now because this class is more about the start of Young Living and how to get started. But this is definitely one that is definitely worth your time, and you need to see it at some point whenever life slows down, or you'll just have to make time for it, because I know how busy we get. How busy we regret. Okay, so I want you to understand that you can take the first step into Young Living without doing what I am doing. I have a monthly subscription box that comes to my house every single month with whatever I order in it, which is completely customizable. I earn points. I get cheaper shipping. I get wholesale prices instead of retail. There's no extra fees. I can cancel anytime I want to. There's no like secret weird thing that, because I've heard of other subscription boxes, like my mom had the Bark box and she tried to cancel it and they were going to gouge her like crazy to cancel it. Young Living does not do that. It is completely free to get off of it. I also get free products whenever I spend a certain amount. And the thing is, guys, I am spending that same amount somewhere else. Instead, I've decided to switch over, get good quality products for my family. It's shipped to my door, so I don't have to get out. I mainly do all my grocery shopping at Aldi's, and it's closer and it's cheaper, and I love Aldi. So, but anyway, I get free products for being on Essential Rewards, and the longer that I'm on it consistently, the more points that I get back. So it's a really neat program. Young Living gives so generously in this way. You do not have to be on Essential Rewards to get your starter kit, but I kind of recommend it because you can start getting points back that you can spend on other things that you really need and you're going to buy anyway. So Essential Rewards is really neat. You will have an option to sign up whenever you buy your premium starter kit, but you can also disregard that section if you want to. Okay, so a lot of people, the more that you look online, you're gonna find that people are scared to use essential oils. So let's just talk about a little bit of that safety, because that's really important. We want to be safe. So certain oils are photosensitive. This is something you need to know. So you don't want to wear them and then go outside. So this is a lot like the citrus oils. Like, don't put orange or lemon on your skin and then go take a suntan, because it will burn your skin. So most of those are just like the citrus oils, and maybe even a little bit of peppermint and thieves too. If you're going to go outside after you put oils, just put them under your clothes. Don't put them on your skin that's going to be exposed. Another thing is that sometimes you can just watch for redness and dilute with a carrier oil if your skin is kind of reacting negatively to it. Dilute oils on children especially, because their skin is more permeable and absorbs more quickly. So as soon as you get your kit, you need to get some fatty carrier oil. The most popular is coconut oil. You can get that at Aldi's for super cheap. You can get it at Walmart. So get some coconut oil. Vegetable oil is not going to work. Olive oil will work, but it might stain your clothes a little bit more. Another thing that you can get is called V6 oil, and that one is really good too. And that one comes from Young Living. And it's already in a pump bottle, so really handy. Using a carrier oil with an essential oil will actually slow down the rate that your body can absorb the essential oil, because it must ping pong through the larger molecules of the carrier oil in order to get to your skin. So let's see. Other safety tips before your kit arrives. Beware of putting oils near your eyes. If you have to, use a Q-tip and just barely dab around your eyes if you have to put it around your eyes. You can become desensitized to an oil if you use it consistently over and over and over. So it's a good idea to rotate your oils. Like if you use lavender for 1 week, the next week try cedarwood for resting. And then you can use frankincense and different blends. You can switch it up just a little bit. I haven't had a major issue with that, but I have noticed with DJIs, I have a less immediate response to it than I used to have. And I wonder if it was just kind of a shock to my system the first time I used it. So what about internal use of essential oils? This is a big one. NAHA, which stands for National Association of Holistic Aromatherapy, does not advocate for essential use for internal use. And that is because most companies don't carry something that's safe to digest. So many argue that internal essential oil use is unsafe. And I would agree in some circumstances. There's some oils that you don't necessarily want to cook with, like, I don't know, like pine is not a food oil, but rosemary would be, and oregano would be. A lot of people use essential oils and they don't even know it. Like the thing that gives oregano seasoning its smell is the essential oil. So I don't fear using essential oils. I know some people are really uncomfortable with it, but I've been doing this for years, and the French have been doing it for decade after decade. And as long as you use a lot of common sense, there's no problem. In the cases that have been considered dangerous, when essential oils were considered dangerous, those were studies where people were downing a 15 milliliter of eucalyptus or pouring the peppermint oil into an open wound, and we just don't do that. That's not wise. I think one of the studies that they looked at to instill fear in us is this mother made her child, like her baby, drink from a 15 milliliter of an oil, and I think the child may have died. And that's scary to think. I mean, I'm scared for the child, not because of the oil, but because of the mom. Like, that's a powerful oil. You don't do that. You don't do that. So anyway, but just use some common sense. It's important to notice also that the National Association for Holistic Aromatherapy bases a lot of their decisions on the British model, which advocates for topical use only. Many of the British studies are flawed, however. For example, they're done at extremely high doses. You looking for Daddy? She says, Dada. Oh, say hi. Dada. Dada. Daddy's gonna come in a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so NAHA bases a lot of their decisions on the British model. Some of the British studies are flawed, like doing doses at extremely high doses. What? Do you want me to hold you or not? I can't tell. Sometimes they do studies in ways that the oils aren't even used. Young Living uses all of the professional ideas, the British, the German, and the French. Not just one. So Young Living's Vitality line has a distinctive white label and is FDA approved for consumption. You can easily recognize these oils, and they're safe to take internally. But, you know, I mean, one of the things to think about is if we're going to have a really high standard for our essential oils, should we also be looking and being just as hard on the products we're already using? If you were to go into your kitchen and your bathroom and just look under the counter, start to question yourself about that too. Like, is that really safe to use? Every day we put products on our skin and in our body and we breathe them in. Many of these products contain damaging chemicals, and I can attest to this, that the more that you start to clean out. Mama, I love you. I love you. Can you go get me a diaper? You are tinky poo poo. You know what? I can pause this video. Hold on while I change a diaper. Okay, baby's changed, kids are happy, and in the other room, and I will finish this up. So the average woman applies over 300 chemicals to her body in the course of an average day. And that's through soaps and makeups, shampoo, and hair care products. 80 of the 300 are often used before breakfast. So no wonder we have such a heavy toxic overload of our systems. I can attest to the fact that once you start cleaning out your lifestyle, getting rid of this stuff and start cleansing a little bit better, I actually have more intolerance in my lungs, and my head can't stand to be around that stuff. One time I went to a friend's house. She had like 8 candles, and that's another thing I had to throw out, all my fragrant candles. And after not being with them for so long, and then going to a friend's house that had 8 different ones going on, I felt like I was going to faint, literally. Like, I was starting to feel really lightheaded. It was a weird experience, and it told me a lot about just what it means to get away from that stuff, to clean your lifestyle up a little bit, your products and your home. I was reading an article once that said that many times the air in an American home is more toxic than some of the OSHA requirements, some of the OSHA expectations. And one of the big parts of that is between candles and the fragrance that they put in a lot of laundry soaps. I need to not go down that road because it's a long one and I won't come back from it. But So it's really important to get away from toxic chemical overload. When you use Young Living essential oils, you're using a product with just one ingredient, unless it's a blend. So whenever you use lemon, there's nothing else in there except lemon. Whenever you use oregano, tangerine is the same thing. There's no synthetic, there's no yuck in there. And Sarah Harnisk, who really pushes for a chemically free lifestyle, was forced into it because her medical diagnosis was so severe. She was on a lot of different medications, and the side effects were making her choose between having a stroke and a heart attack. And she was a young homeschool mom who worked hard to stay above the poverty line, and it was killing them. She would have brain bleeds every single month. And so that's why she pushes so strong for a chemically free lifestyle. And I've been influenced by her. And I'm better for it. And my family is better for it. So if you are feeling just a little overwhelmed, which I know I would be, let's talk a little bit. Let me screen share something else with you. Let's talk a little bit about a beginning point. So you only need about, out of the hundreds and I don't know, maybe even thousands of essential oils available, you don't have to go crazy buying stuff in order to get a chemically free lifestyle. Come on, Jethro. Okay. So we're going to talk about all the individual oils that come in the starter kit. A lot of you are probably going to ask, can I just get like one lavender and I can buy it from you maybe, or something like that? You can do that, but you're going to pay retail. And it's like we said originally, if you buy these little by little, piece by piece, you're going to spend like $412 for this whole kit. So you really need to invest your time and your money into getting a good solid kit. And this is where I recommend, if you want to save money, this is where you need to do it. I don't have a whole lot of time, and I know that you don't either, to be spending our resources on things that aren't going to work. This is what I recommend. This is what you need to get. This is the premium starter kit. It has frankincense in it. Frankincense is one of the top skin oils. It helps soothe the appearance of skin and is a key ingredient in Young Living's Brain Power Oil. You can diffuse it at prayer time to help with grounding and purpose. This made no sense to me whenever I heard it, but I actually was on my front porch praying and reading the Bible, and I just kept thinking of all the things I needed to do and could not concentrate. And so I picked up some frankincense and I was like, well, I know that they said that weird thing. Maybe I'll go ahead and try it. I tried it and it really helped to stabilize my thoughts and helped me to concentrate a lot better. So frankincense is very, very valuable. Lavender is really good for relaxation. I love to diffuse this at bedtime. Diffuse for a calming, soothing aroma and unwind by adding a few drops to a nighttime bath. This is one of the top oils to support healthy skin as well, and it's referred to as a Swiss Army knife of essential oils because there's so many uses. We can use it for bruises and blisters and rashes and bug bites and mild burns. Mild burns, yes. I don't know how many times I have burned myself in the kitchen and run to go get the lavender. One time I stuck my hand in some boiling water. There were just a lot of people in the kitchen doing a lot of different things, and I didn't really think about the fact that I was sticking my hand in there to rinse some dishes off. And it brought me to tears because the burn hurt so bad. We got some lavender, put it on my hand, and I was able to do dishes within 30 minutes, stick my hand back in hot water to finish the dishes. It was amazing. If for no other reason you need to buy this, I mean, I'm just going to keep saying that for every single oil, but this is really valuable. I love the lavender. Moving on to peppermint. Peppermint is really great. I love to use it whenever I'm feeling heaviness from being somewhere that has a lot of artificial fragrances and I can't breathe really well. I'm just feeling a lot of tightness. I love to put this on my hands and just breathe in. or put it in the diffuser. Peppermint supports gastrointestinal discomfort and promotes healthy bowel function and enhanced gut function. It helps maintain the efficiency of the digestive tract and it may support during exercise as well. This is it's really good for keeping you alert if you feel like you're going to be going to sleep at the wheel. If you travel a lot, this is a really good oil to have close to you when you go on a road trip. So the next one is Citrus Fresh Vitality. This is actually a blend. Let me see if this will work. So Citrus Fresh has orange, tangerine, grapefruit, lemon, and mandarin oils in it. It's used to freshen the air. You can make your own perfume out of it. You can use it for a replacement for chemical-based home fragrances. Make a sprit out of it to clean and make your room smell really nice and fresh, especially before company. This is a powerful oil for immune support. It's really good to diffuse when you're just feeling a little bit off and you need an extra boost in the immune system. You can put 10 to 20 drops in 2 cups of an Epsom salt bath in hot water for 20 minutes. So you'll feel really refreshed if you try that. Thieves is really fantastic, one of the really favorite oils. It supports a healthy respiratory system. This Thieves have been proven to kill 99.9% of germs and bacteria. So when the kids get sick, the first thing to do is to put this in the diffuser and on their feet and spine and set up a germ-free zone. So this is really interesting. It can make a big difference on where you apply the essential oil on your body. Their spine is where bundles of nerves connect through your body, and the feet and hands are where they come out. So if you put oils on those places topically, on the spine, hands, and feet, you're covering a lot of ground in the body, even if you don't know where the germs are hiding out. Fantastic oil. This one has kept our family really healthy through a lot of seasons when our family members who were not using any Young Living stuff to boost their immune system were really not doing well. Peace and Calming is next. This one I heard a lot of hype about, and this is really interesting to know. So use it to bring peace to if you're feeling just a lot of chaos in your head. It is different than Stress Away in that Stress Away is for prolonged use throughout the day, and specifically for for the sort of fight or flight stress that comes on fast. But Peace and Calming is more for the evening to slow your mind down. Peace and Calming contains ylang ylang, orange, tangerine, patchouli, and blue tansy. Fantastic oils. Blue tansy is a really popular one, and it's a running vein in a lot of the popular blends that Young Living has. Stress Away promotes wellness and may be an important part of a daily health regime. It's one of the top emotional oil blends. I use Stress Away before the onslaught of a heavier day when I know I have a lot going on. I love Stress Away. I like to use Stress Away whenever we hit Sunday morning and I have to fix the girls' hair and we want to be on time. And it's really important to me that we also get breakfast because church is really miserable if you have a stomach that's growling and you can't think of anything but food. So I love Stress Away for the bustle and hustle. Lemon Vitality is really good. So this is the next oil. Oh, I forgot to flip it, but that's Stress Away. It's got lemon, lime, not lemon. It's got lime and lavender and vanilla in it. It's kind of a interesting blend. You wouldn't think of putting vanilla with lavender and lime, but it makes a really beautiful blend. I hope you guys get to try it. I hope that you'll be willing to. Lemon Vitality is a citrus flavor, obviously. It can enhance the taste of food and water. It's a key ingredient in Ningxia Red and in Thieves, and it supports a healthy immune system, and it's wonderful for the liver. If I hear that somebody is wanting to get some support for their liver, I say lemon. Really fantastic. So put a few drops every day in your water. You can also use lemon to remove anything sticky. So I don't know if you've ever used Goo Gone, but citrus essential oils are really good to remove any type of Goo Gone type need, you know, where you have that, like if you have a cup that has a sticker on it and the sticker didn't come off the right way, or maybe you're like me and you cannot throw away jars. I have a bunch of baby jars. They're so cute, and I just have a bunch of jars. And lemon can be really good to remove that sticky residue, or gum in your hair. Another tip with lemon is if you have the tiny itty bitty little rubber bands to hold your hair back for your kids, you can put a drop of lemon on there, and it will, in just a couple seconds, dissolve the plastic that it's made out of so that it'll break apart and you can just undo it without having any rats, any problems. That's a fantastic tip, guys. Panaway is next. We love Panaway. Oh, lemon is also really good for degreasing dirty pots and pans. I have not tried that yet, but we don't have a whole lot of greasy stuff. Panaway, as I mentioned, was one of the big oils that I was first introduced to when I hurt my back, and I told you that story at the beginning of this class. This is really good for soothing sore muscles. It has a stimulating aroma. You can put it on your back and your neck for a soothing aromatic experience. The day that you get your starter kit, put it on your feet and see how they feel. Panaway also helps to support the appearance of healthy skin coloration. Did you know that 90% of early aging is not even wrinkles? It's actually discoloration of the skin. Add some Panaway to your Gentle Art Cleanser, that's Young Living's, or the Light Moisturizer, also Young Living's. The Art, just a side note, the Art Facial Cleansing Set stands for Age Refining Technology. It's got some really good ingredients in it. I used to love it. And then I ran out, and I still love it, but I need to get more, especially that moisturizer. Panaway is wonderful for mild occasional headaches. So I've not tried that for headaches yet, but Digize is another one that I had a really big experience and testimony with. Very good for supporting healthy digestive system. 2 drops of peppermint in your water with the Digize for a stimulating beverage. Take a veggie capsule with it internally and use essential zyme at every meal to support a wellness regime for the gut if you need to focus on some gut health. This is an oil that you can take in a capsule if you're throwing up or feeling kind of nauseous. Digize, man, I do not want to run out of Digize again. I've done that before. If there is any oil that I actually have, last night I looked at my purse and the oils that I have in my purse, and I had like 3 Digize bottles in there because I do not want to be without it. I hate feeling that bloated feeling, and Digize really helps to combat that because it's got some really powerful, beautiful herbs in there. They don't smell amazing, but they are really powerhouse. The next one is Raven. Raven is a cleansing blend of Ravensara, peppermint, and Eucalyptus radiata. If I remember right, Ravensara comes from Madagascar, I think. Raven creates a cooling sensation when applied topically to the chest or the throat. I feel like I want some of that right now, actually. Diffuse daily for a soothing aroma. This oil is a game-changing for anything breathing related. If you're having any kind of problems and you need some extra support there. Okay, so the next thing that we need to talk about is this Ningxia red thing. It comes from Ningxia region of China. Gary Young traveled about 4 or 5 different places in the world, interviewing people that were living extraordinarily long lives. And the wolfberry was the one that the Chinese people would use up in the high mountain ranges of China. You get 2 of these juice samples in your starter kit. I recommend that you put them in the fridge or in the freezer. You can also have them as popsicles. Don't try to take them when they're lukewarm. It just does not taste very good. You know what I like to do? I like to use this stuff with a drop of lemon essential oil, or you can use orange essential oil, or put some of that citrus fresh because you're going to get that in your kit. It kind of makes it taste like orange pop. It's kind of got that almost carbonated kick. It's made with blueberries and lemon. I'm not sure what else is in it, but it's really, really good stuff. So don't be timid to try these. They're not filled with like organic cardboard, crunchy, crazy, non-juice yuck. Like, oh, you know, I feel like I've tried one too many health drinks, and I'm not even that into drinking a lot of health drinks that have just not been fantastic. But like I've said earlier, this is really good, especially anytime that I need that extra kick in the afternoon when I need to get something done and I don't have time for a nap and I'm just feeling really drowsy. Ningxia is fantastic for that. You know what's amazing is I heard some stories where these ladies were talking about Ningxia Red in the office one time, and one of them was like saying how they loved it in the morning because it was very invigorating. It gave them energy for the day. The opposite lady was like, well, that's really strange because I actually drink it at night because it helps me sleep. So the wonderful, beautiful thing about pure products, when you know you're getting a pure product, is that your body can respond to it and just filter in the gaps where whatever you need and wherever you need it. Your body's smart enough to use these as tools because that's what they really are. I've heard doctors say before that oils don't heal, but your body can heal if you just give it the right tools. So I don't want to make any crazy claims or anything, but there's so much power in this and I really want to share it with you. This juice is so good for you. There's an entire class on that and you need to go to that too. So Thieves hand sanitizer and the spray, you get these things in your kit as well. These are really good for like spraying on your shopping cart every time that you go out. The more that you learn about hand sanitizer, I think the less popular it's going to become. A lot of the ingredients in there are just not good for you. The way that I visualize it, do you guys know that the products that we use every single day are actually absorbing into our digestive system and bloodstream? So if you're using Germ-X that clearly says it's not safe to ingest, but it's still ending up in your digestive system and in your blood supply and your blood arteries and veins and stuff, and it's taking the chemicals and taking it to all the different places, which wouldn't be a bad thing if it just had good quality stuff in it. This Thieves hand purifier actually smells exactly like Germ-X, I think. But what it's not going to do is place an atomic bomb in the middle of the battlefield between the good germs and the bad germs. It's going to kill everything bad without damaging the good bacteria, the gut lining that you really need to keep your gut in good shape. Because man, if your gut is not in good shape, nothing else will be. Oh man, I feel powerful about that because I've just struggled and I've had a lot of healing with my gut by focusing on that part of my health. Okay, so Valor is next. This is one of the things that people are most excited about with it being in the kit. It didn't used to be. Whenever I bought my kit, this was not in it. I heard so many people talk about this. I heard a lot of women who deal regularly with anxiety attacks, and they did not want to be without this oil because it saved them so many times. It's got the blue tansy, I think. It's got black spruce, blue tansy, camphor wood, geranium, and frankincense. This particular blend was used by ancient Romans in the bathhouses before they sent their soldiers into battle. It's soothing and relaxing scent, and it's designed for courage and bravery. A lot of people call this courage in a bottle. And you can put it on your hand and place it over your heart anytime that you're feeling just like an attack is coming on. So I really like the smell, but it took me a little bit to warm up to it. I will be honest with that. So this is what you get for $165. This is the Desert Mist Diffuser that has the 11 different settings on it. I remember whenever I heard about the price of the kit, and back then it was $150 because you got a little less in your kit. And one of the reasons why I was why I was pushed further to go ahead and get the kit was because my friend was also going to give me a book that would help me know how to use them. Here it is right here, and I've loved it so much that the cover is no longer on it. But it's a pocket reference for a bunch of different ways to know how to use your essential oils. So just to recap, this kit comes with 12 oils, a diffuser, 2 packs of Ningxia, 2 Thieves products, an Aroma Glide roll-on cap. I think it might actually have 2 that can turn any bottle into an instant roll-on for $165. There's no yearly membership fee. If you don't place an order later on, you'll just go inactive after 12 months. When you hop on Essential Rewards, you can pick out products you want to try every month as you start kicking toxic chemicals to the curb, as you start cleaning out the heaviness of, for a while, I really struggled with brain fog. And I started doing some research, and I decided I was going to get rid of my old shampoo and I was going to try something new. And that is what got me started on getting closer and closer to doing Young Livings. And I have not gone back since I started Young Livings. I love their shampoo and their conditioner. Tons of stuff that Young Living has to offer us, guys. And I highly recommend, if you purchase on Essential Rewards, don't do a quick order if you can help it, unless you're spending your points. So going chemically free is a process that you do one step at a time. Just so you really understand the value of this kit, understand that if you were to buy Panaway right here and frankincense right here, these two, just the 2 oils, are worth nearly the entire value of the kit. So that means you're getting 10 oils, a diffuser, Thieves products, Ningxia, and literature and training, all of it for free. I know that it feels really high, but you've seen some, like just a snapshot of what it takes for these oils to come together so that you can have them in your home for a regular daily benefit. So I want to share just one more thing with you in closing. I love to share oils. I love Southern Toasted Pecan coffee from the Cameron's brand at Walmart. I love Granny Smith apples. I love Peaches and Cream cotton yarn. I really like to crochet. I like to listen to Frances Chan and Bethany Dillon and Shayna Chain, and even a little bit of Southern raised bluegrass, like classic bluegrass. I love shopping on Amazon Prime, and I will many times base my purchase choice on the recommendations and the comments that are made down below on Amazon. I really love truly pure oils. I share and I recommend what I love. Everybody does. $165. Is this worth it? Is it a lot? Is it affordable? Is it over the top? Am I really getting my money's worth? Are you really getting your money's worth to buy this little premium starter kit? Is it worth it to have immediate relief when you burn yourself in the kitchen, when you have constant head tension and would rather not poison your liver with the traditional treatment? Is it worth the refreshment of Panaway and peppermint on your achy muscles post-workout? Is the price tag worth it? That extra grounding that you feel when you feel just like a little squirrel and your mind is bouncing everywhere? Is it worth it whenever you want to support your little girl's hormones? Did you know, guys, that people are reporting that their little girls are starting their periods like way younger than what we did? Way younger than what we did. And I think I even started, pretty average. I think I was 12 or 13, but little kids are starting their period now. And chiropractors are seeing these babies, and actually it's not all that uncommon, and it's because of hormone disruptors. Every time that we are in toxic overload, there's 3 ways that our body responds. Either the toxins become hormone disruptors, and the hormones are connected to like everything in the body. Number 2, it becomes really bad on the liver and the kidneys. And number 3, it causes problems with our fat. Hold on, I'm gonna have to go get a baby. Okay, guys, I have the baby back. I have the baby back. Okay, here we are. Can you see this little munchkin? Okay, the third way that toxins really cause problems in our body is that they're stored in the fat because the body doesn't know what else to do with it. And so hormone problems, fat that you just can't get rid of, it just hangs around because the body doesn't know what to do with it, and liver and kidney trauma. That's what happens. So getting back to your little girl's hormones, is it worth it when you're struggling with your dental situation and you need to just get past all the pain and the swelling? This was me for like, I don't know, maybe a good year. I went on and off and on and off and up and down with my dental health. Is this price tag worth it when your husband is exhausted from a day of work and needs just extra rest? He needs to be able to sleep hard. And because he's just been wearing himself thin, he's been working himself thin. Is the price tag worth it to avoid mainstream sickness that passes through like a season of the year? My family's been really, really healthy, and $160, it may feel like a big investment, but it is an investment, and for your entire family, not just for one person. Daniel and I don't really have a good opportunity for any kind of health insurance, and so this is what we get. This from this company. This is how we're supporting our health, and I'm so glad that we are doing it. For our family, is this price tag worth it? It's a resounding yes, because it's changed our life so much, and I don't know where I would be without it. You know, I mean, I don't know what would have happened. I know that the Lord would have taken care of me, but I feel like this is one way he's really taken care of me. And I want you to see how God could use it in your life, because I really believe in Young Living's belief of keeping these products as pure as the Lord himself made them. I just, you know, tomorrow is going to be hard, and the next day is going to be hard, and it's going, like, life is going to be hard when we're in our 70s, but we get to choose if we want we get to choose which hard we get. And I choose a little bit better choice. The price tag may feel really hard to you, but there's a lot of things that I'm avoiding by having this kit that would be hard as well. So if you say yes, I will love you. If you say no to the starter kit, I will love you, and we will have a good friendship. We will talk about other things and other topics other than Young Living and oils. But you get to choose your heart. I want you to know that you have complete freedom, and freedom for me means getting away from the toxic overload. In my eyes, there's no other product line as worth as this price tag. God's plan for these beautiful high and pure frequency oils are pure, and they resonate with our body systems in ways that we're just now beginning to really uncover after hundreds of years of this knowledge being lost. So I love the fact that when you're holding the oils in your hand, you're holding healing plants that come from all over the world. And like I said before, I don't have a whole lot of time for products that don't work, and I know that you don't either. And I don't have money to spend on products that don't work, but I highly recommend this because I know it works for my family. I want to thrive in every single day. I don't necessarily want to live long, but I want to live really well. I want my life to be filled with life. And I don't want to live a long time just barely hanging by a thread. And I feel like we've been there. And sometimes it just seems like we don't know how broken we really are, and that we have a choice to fix it. So I don't want to say that, you know, getting essential oils means that you'll never get cancer. I don't want to say that getting essential oils means you'll never struggle with any kind of health thing, because that's not the truth. But I am feeling supported, and my family feels supported. Um, I don't I don't have to always, I mean, I haven't been in the emergency room for my kids, not not once. Um, and I haven't been with Young Living the whole time, but there's been some times where I was a little bit scared that we would, and I used oils instead, and we didn't have to go. And we, you know what else we didn't have? The bill that goes with an emergency like that. So I know other people in Young Living have had emergencies, and they've still ended up in the hospital and still needed that extra care. But wouldn't you like to have choices? I want you to know that the Lord has really used these in my life, and I want to extend an invitation to you to let you know that He can use them in yours too. I want your purchase of this premium starter kit to be entirely in the Lord's hands. I want it to be entirely Lord-led. I don't want to I don't want to have anything to do with pulling the wool over your eyes and trying to sneak into your home to make you get these products. I want you to see value in it, because there is value in it. I love you, and I've been praying for the people that are going to be on my team. That might be you. So this is your opportunity. Are you ready to do something a little bit to support your family's health? This is fantastic kit. These are oils that you're going to use every day the more you get into it. So just know that I love you, and I'm going to put this class to an end. I want you to know that you can go to youngliving.com and you can click on Become a Member. If you want the premium starter kit, you're going to my member number and a sponsor number that you're going to need, or you can just click on the link that I can send you if you just message me first. But my member number is 3157 137. And whenever you get your kit, that means you're also signing up with the community that can help answer questions and can really love on you and send you resources that you're going to need on your journey. So the community is one of the most valuable pieces of the kit that you're going to get. So you're going to have an enroller and sponsor. Probably that will just be me for the time being. I might let you know if I decide to do something different, but it's pretty simple to log into the Young Living and become a member. I think there's like 4 steps. You can choose when you're signing up to sign with Essential Rewards. There's perks to that, but you don't have to. So I would just want to say, welcome to our world of essential oils. I love you, and I will talk to you soon. May the Lord bless you and keep you and cause His face to shine on you.